Well, it is the first day of spring finally, and all the winter rain is setting the stage for a super bloom of wildflowers in our beautiful state. And you know what a great thing to do during the spring is get outside and go see them. And that's where we find Sarah Pila. She joins us now live this morning from the Alta Vicente Reserve in Palos Verdes. It is so beautiful. It's beautiful here with my little backdrop, but I'm telling you, the real thing is gorgeous, Sarah.
Ah, Giselle, it is so gorgeous here. And with the sun out, it really does feel like the first day of spring. And because we know that the days are now getting longer, it's a great time to come outside and experience the beauty of nature here in Southern California. Because of all the rain that we've received, we are going to have a spectacular super bloom of wildflowers, so colorful all throughout the Southland. I do want to show you some video, though, because this area on the Palos Verdes Peninsula is definitely special. This is the Alta Vicente Reserve, and it's just one of the many areas on the peninsula to get up and close and personal with nature. Not only does it boast, beautiful views of the ocean and the Point Vicente Lighthouse, but the Alta Vicente Reserve is part of a large coastal sage scrub habitat restoration project. The environment here provides much needed refuge for rare species, and the wildflowers will provide nectar for pollinators. So now I'm joined with Chris Sarabia, who is the conservation director here at the Palos Verdes Peninsula Land Conservancy. And Chris, I think we're all just in awe of exactly how beautiful this reserve is and this view. Tell us a little bit about this space and what makes it maybe special. On the peninsula, there's a lot of different trails. What do people need to know?
Yeah, this is the Alta Vicente Reserve. As you mentioned, it's a restoration site. A lot of people think this is natural, but we've actually restored it, and we restored it for all the wildlife that occurs on the coast, specifically out here on the peninsula. And so it's important because this is one of the only refuges for them to come out. All these little critters, these birds, these butterflies, and so we have all these wildflowers that they'll use to pollinate, to eat seed, to nest on, basically everything that wildlife does. That's what this restoration site is for.
Okay, and when we think of, the rains that we had this past winter, can you really explain what that does for this springtime bloom?
Yeah, so these, typically we have rains in the winter and then it's a dry summer, and all these plants are adapted to that. They're Mediterranean climate plants. Basically, it's a very unique type of habitat that's really enjoys those wet winters. And so what happens is those wet winters allow for the spring to just be this crazy bloom that we're seeing. We're starting to see that. It's starting to kick off. And so that's when we start to see all these blooms, but we also start to see poppies as well. With more rain, it means more wildflowers. And so we start to get poppies, lupins, all these annual wildflowers that only come up once a year. They start to come up and they need that rain, right? So in the drought years, we didn't really see that. But that's why we're excited about this year, because we got a lot of rain, which means a super bloom.
So we know that, getting people outside is important to enjoy this, but it takes a lot of hard work to restore these types of lands. Can you talk about the process and some of the volunteers that help make this possible?
Right. So a lot of these lands, they kind of laid fallow. They're kind of degraded. Lots of weeds before we come into to restore these sites, and so it takes a lot of work. So we work with our staff, but also with volunteers. We need a lot of help from the community to help us restore these sites for wildlife. So we invite people to come help us pull weeds, help to plant poppies, help to plant some of the coastal sage scrub that you see behind me. We invite people to come out every weekend and just help out. And so it takes a community to do this, right? So we want everyone to come out, learn either with the nature walk, come out on your own on the trail, stay on the trail, enjoy the view, only take pictures with you. But also come out and enjoy maybe Earth Day with us. We have a big Earth Day event, and we kind of want you to come out and just learn about everything, whatever it is, that you'd like. Maybe you want a selfie, maybe you want to learn to plant a plant. Yeah.
So see, it's that connection to our spaces, Giselle, to come out and enjoy, but also to be educated about it as well, and maybe lend a helping hand.
It is a jewel in the crown of this city. So beautiful there, but there are other places as well to go. How can people find out where else to go to see the wildflowers this season?
So we are all in luck because there is a wildflower hotline. You see the number on your screen. Every Friday it gets updated with the latest blooms on where to go, and you can find stuff all around the Southland, Giselle.
What a beautiful way to celebrate the first day of spring. Sarah Pila, you rock. We'll be right back, everyone, with more headlines you need to know, but enjoy those flowers. We'll be back.